Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable William Samoei Ruto, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Italy, distinguished colleagues from Kenya, and our partners and potential partners from Italy. Good evening. I'm sure you're all familiar with the famous phrase that Rome was not built in a day. And whoever made that statement was, in my view, looking at the resilience of Italy, the hard task that it takes to put up a nation, how meticulous you must be. And indeed, even as we go through the streets of Rome, we can still see the cobblestone that was placed there one at a time, and the very magnificent structures that have stood the test of time. So, equally, the relationship between Kenya and Rome was not built in a day. It has taken 60 years of very strong partnership and collaboration between our two countries. And that is why we are here, so that we can look at the next phase of our partnership. So I do not want to say too much, because we want the business deals to flow and to be signed. So I will take this opportunity to invite the Deputy Prime Minister, Antonio Tajani, to come forward and tell us how the cobblestones were put together to build Rome. And then thereafter, we shall invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, to make the closing remarks. The Honorable Prime Minister.
Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister, dear friends, ministers, and very dear friends from the delegation of Kenya, dear businessmen. This business forum and a day that marks a fundamental time in the relations between Kenya and Italy. I took part in the meetings of the President and Prime Minister with the President Mattarella and the Prime Minister Meloni. Two very important meetings that marked the strengthening of the political and economic relations between two countries that have always been friends, and they wish to keep working together to grow their economies and provide positive answers to Italian and Kenyan citizens. Very positive meetings, which ended by signing an important agreement that will pave the way to more meetings and more deals, both political and economic agreements, that will strengthen the friendship between our two countries. Mr. President, I really wish to stress to what extent for our government and for Italians as a whole, Africa is a fundamental continent, is a key continent. It is the continent which is in front of us, overlooking the Mediterranean, a continent that has always shown to be very attentive and has always shown a great interest for Italy and for Europe. So we cannot disregard this request for friendship and the attention that the continent has shown vis-à-vis us. It would be a very serious political and strategic mistake not to consider Africa as a key partner for us. I've been doing this since I was a European Commissioner for Transport and Industry. And I'm doing this today as a Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Trade. We believe in the democracy of growth. This is a book that has just been published by my ministry that deals with Destination Africa. And this is a book published by our Nairobi embassy that is devoted to Kenya, to explain and to invite Italian businesses, large, medium and small businesses, to look at your country with greater and greater attention, together with the African continent as a whole. Dear Mr. President, you will certainly know that the headquarters of the Italian television is in Nairobi, which shows that Nairobi and Kenya are for us a major reference point, and we wish to be so even more. So a bridge also to talk to other African countries for the role that you play. Mr. President, Italy is the second ranking industrial power in Europe. Following China, we are the country in the world with the broader variety of productions and products. So we really wish to rely on the quality of our know-how, and we wish to rely on the ability to produce high-quality products, and we look with great interest to your market, because it is a growing market, it is a young market, a market with an extraordinary potential. So, Mr. President, we need you. Your country is rich in raw materials. It is an industrial country like Italy, where there are industrial companies and agricultural companies as well. And countries such as ours, we cannot do without raw materials. Without raw materials, we cannot be competitive. So we need to look at your extraordinary potential with great attention. And as a friendly, with a very friendly relation on a win-win basis. So with a win-win approach, allowing you to leverage and make the best use of the resources available in your land, using our know-how. And so thanks to our know-how, we can build a project of economic and industrial growth. We should not think that raw materials are just taken here to Italy. Raw materials must be processed where they are, where they're available. Also thanks to our know-how through joint ventures, allowing Italian and Kenyan businesses to work together and to grow the economies of both countries, creating jobs. And then we can bring the raw materials that we buy to Italy to make our system more competitive. So we can make both systems more competitive, working hand in hand as brothers who wish to build together a different future. We've been talking about tourism a lot. Tourism facilitates personal relations. There are many Italians who spend their holidays in Kenya, and we are also happy to welcome in our country Kenyan diaspora. There are very good workers and qualified technicians, skilled technicians. We could also plan a direct Nairobi-Rome flight. So there are so many sectors in which we can work together. And I'm saying this to Italian businesses. Our embassy and the ministry will support and will take you, will come to Kenya with you so that you can carry out your project and you can export quality Italian products, and you will be able to invest, as Mrs. Corradini pointed out before. Internationalize does not mean relocate. It is the opposite. We want our companies to internationalize, so they must invest and not just export, to produce also in friendly countries such as Kenya, because this is a win-win agreement. We can create jobs, we can create wealth and well-being for our companies. So our commitment as a ministry, together with CDP, with the Foreign Trade Agency and CMEST and SACE, our goal is to support you in order to take you there, analyzing the opportunities for trade between Rome and Nairobi. This will allow you to operate better, invest better, and do a better business. And none of you will ever have to feel alone when operating in Kenya or any other countries in the world. The reform of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that started operating on January 1st, we have a General Department for Growth, which follows and supports all Italian companies throughout the world so that they can feel they are strong and they are supported by the government. So we have an operating room working 24 hours a day to provide responses to businesses who need operation. There is a new office of CDP in Nairobi, and this, which is good news. We believe in Kenya, we believe in the government of Kenya, and we have a great relations, and I'm sure that in the future we can keep implementing big projects, great projects, which can be useful for both our countries, and they can also be useful to build peace. I always quote a statement from a French philosopher, where goods go through, where weapons do not go through. So we are countries that focus on economy and trade. So we are also ready to receive your products, welcome your products, and to increase investments also from your country to Italy. So it has not to be a one-way relation. It has to be a bilateral, a two-way relation. We are ready to welcome your businesses interested in having joint ventures in our country. We can work together in so many sectors. We mentioned coffee. Healthcare has not been mentioned enough, but I think that the Gruppo San Donato can work a lot for healthcare. The protection of citizens' health is important. Africa cannot have life expectancies that are so short as they currently are. ALS. We need to do more. Mr. President, you know that Italy finances the Gavi project for the production of vaccines in Africa to make life expectancy longer for African children. We cannot accept for children to live just 2 or 3 years. So we have this responsibility, being a friendly country of Africa, to provide responses also in the sector of healthcare and health in general. This is maybe the most important thing. We have been talking with the President about the humanitarian aid that Italy is taking to Sudan through the Italy for Sudan operation. And the President has pointed out how important it is to curb the sufferings of a country that is affected by war. So we do not have just business purposes, but also politics to safeguard the rights of peoples to live in peace and help people who suffer when we can. This is a duty for all of us. I appreciated a lot what you said, Mr. President, talking about Sudan. You are playing a very important role to contribute, as our Prime Minister mentioned, to bringing peace in the countries around you. We want to help you and we want to support you because we have a common goal. Enough with deaths and enough with disasters. These statements must be certainly accompanied by strong actions, and we are ready to invest. As I said some days ago, an Italian ship with food aid arrived in Nairobi on Christmas, also a plane with aid for children. We don't want to see camps where just children or women live because men are fighting some war or maybe are dead. I think that this forum, it's a long day of cooperation between Kenya and Italy, and it also brings a message of peace. It's not just the mere economic interest. There is a vision for Africa and for Europe, and a vision of neighboring countries and neighboring continents that must live in peace and must be lighthouses for the world. Africa has extraordinary potential. We have the duty to help all the African peoples so that through our know-how they may really increase and fulfill their potentials. It will not just be to benefit African peoples, but also to us and for the world as a whole. So with gratitude, I wish to thank you for honoring us with your participation in this business forum, and I thank the Prime Minister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and I want to thank all of you, all the Kenyan businesses. You are always welcome among Italian businesses. You will always find friends to do business with, but also for personal and human relations, which are the most important thing for all human beings. We were not born to live alone. We were born to live together with other people, and together with other people we need to build something positive. Today, we certainly did something great because it was a very positive day. Thank you so much, Mr. President.